With the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM, Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
All right, you're on, Cam.
We are on. Good morning. Terrific Tuesday.
Terrific Tuesday. Here she comes right now.
There we go. It is
Nina's
one half
never
of the
late.
dynamic duo is here, and the other half is just arriving. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Take a minute.
Dan.
Dan covered for me for Friday because I went to Florida.
Okay.
So he had his brother's flying in today from the. I don't know where he lives, but he's flying in. He's picking him up at LaGuardia.
Oh, there you
so
go.
I was like, hey, you cover for me Friday? I'll cover for you Tuesday.
There you go. Works out.
All right.
Terrific Tuesday. It's not raining.
No, that's the first thing I said when I walked outside.
The sun's going to come out later. This is just some morning fog. No mist. No, just fog.
Did you see the sun? When I got in the car this morning, it was like bright red.
Really?
Sun.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't.
no, okay.
It was obscured from. I didn't see it.
Yeah, that extra
But the moon was orange last night. I noticed.
I didn't see
so
that.
red sun. Maybe there's.
Dwayne just
that's
said.
haze from the wildfires.
Oh, could
Remember
be.
last summer?
Yeah.
The smoke. I mean, that one day it was like weird. It was like dark, sort
Yes.
of. There was
Yep.
like no clouds, no. It was just gray.
Yeah.
And I remember
I remember that.
it was orangey at sunrise and sunset with that. So I bet you that's related.
So I suppose your garden, your vegetables from all the rain, ours is like
they're
really.
booming.
Yours is boom. Ours are struggling a little
See,
bit.
I'm in a raised bed.
Okay.
So I haven't had the water, which is nice. But I only have a couple tomato plants, basil, parsley. So
And they're all doing great.
I just have a
Our
small.
green beans, our cucumbers, no, not so good. But yes, our tomatoes are doing well.
Too wet.
Yeah, too wet. Yeah, but what are you gonna do? At least, I don't know.
Well,
we won't have a drought, and we don't have the
I had some
wildfires.
Davenport corn over the weekend, which is
I did
good
too.
sign. Yeah, it was
it
good.
good?
Yeah.
Tasty as
So that's the first batch of the year?
first I've seen. They've had like Florida corn.
Was it the white and the butter sugar? Is that what they call
Yeah, it was bicolor or
favorite.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, delicious. It was really good.
But yeah, it was the first time in Hannaford. They ever Davenport corn.
They do.
So yeah, and that was the first time I saw it. So I grabbed a couple of ears and delish.
Yeah,
Good as I remember.
Very, very good.
Now I'm just waiting for some fresh tomatoes.
Yes, me too.
They're still green. They're
Oh,
growing.
I
Not
know.
much
My
red on
favorite
them.
thing, that fresh tomato
Yep.
salad with basil.
That's why I grow the basil right next to
Yeah,
the tomatoes. They
yeah.
can get to know each other
Yeah, that's right.
before they get chomped down.
Make a great team together. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, and I saw you over the weekend.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we saw each
I
other.
was on a double date.
Oh, you were. You
My
were.
friend Liam and Larissa and my girlfriend Amanda. It
Yes.
was nice. They're doing a really nice job. I was at the Hoffman House.
Right.
They're doing a really nice job because that's Pat Bradley had it forever. And
That's right. Yes.
I know he tried to sell it, but I believe his chef took over, right? Or sort
I
of
do.
they had
Yes.
they came to some sort of agreement where
Yep.
I'll
Right.
rent it from you. But I've had lunch there twice. That was the first dinner I've had, and very happy. Delish.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It was excellent.
Yep.
Yeah. Food was excellent. We ate outside. You ate
And it was-
inside.
yeah,
Yeah.
Liam and I both work outside.
Yeah. Right. So you like that
I was like, I
inside.
did not want to sit on the deck, man. I want
Yeah.
AC.
And Dwayne and I work inside, so we wanted to
same
sit
as Amanda.
outside.
She works in the bank, so
Yeah, you like to
in
work-
the AC,
yeah, outside.
all day.
Yeah.
No, just the opposite. Thank you.
Yeah, no. But yeah, and it didn't rain while we were there,
Yeah.
which was nice,
Knock on wood.
which was a good thing. And yeah, and this past weekend it was busy uptown, right? A lot going on.
Absolutely.
And,
I
yeah.
rode my bike. Yeah, I mean Friday night was jumping. I rode on I was around Saturday, and it was busy. All of Kingston, I imagine.
Yes, yes. And the roundabout, as you could tell, I was a little late this morning, and I was very thankful for the roundabout because no lights anymore. It really makes it much easier, and especially in the morning when there isn't much
Absolutely.
traffic. So
It's shaping up. Like the finishing touches are starting to look
it
nice.
is, yes.
And I like that openness. Like when you come off Chandler Drive and it's wide open like that.
Yeah, good
And then,
point.
you imagine in the middle, there's going to be a few trees in the middle on some of the things. Once I think it's going to be, looks way better than the old entrance to Kingston.
Oh, absolutely. And it will look even better once they finish all the
Yes, and it
landscaping
actually
and the
will,
stonework.
It's no longer a negative. Now it's a positive.
Right.
So
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because I had both, at least once a day during the week, I hit both rotaries. I go the new one.
Oh,
and then
you
out,
hit both
Chandler
of
Drive
them.
To go 209.
Yeah, I
to the
hardly, yeah.
bridge. So I hit both of them, sometimes
Really?
twice a day. So I like it. It's cut minutes off my commute.
Yeah, which is
It used to
it
take
does.
6 minutes. 6 minutes to get out to the town of Ulster. Now it takes like 2.
Yeah, no, it really does.
Yeah,
It cuts
it's-
quite a bit off.
Absolutely. You don't have to sit through 2-3 minute light cycles.
Yes.
So
Yeah, no,
it's good.
which is great. Yeah.
So other than that, did you know, we're talking about the weekend, did you hear any numbers from the Pearson House? Was that busy again?
Yes, we were really busy again this weekend, which is wonderful. We had a little over.
Steve was there, right?
Yes, yeah. We had over 150 people, so
Wow.
which was wonderful. Yeah, it really has been booming there, and it's just an indication of everything that's going on. I think it was today's Freeman one, just recently in the Freeman, they had a picture of a young family, three children, and a mom and dad that were a historic Huguenot, looking at one of the I don't know, I think it was one of the homes or something, and they were from Cape May, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Which is
so-
a beautiful historic little town.
Right, we would go to Cape May, and they're
Yeah,
coming to
yeah,
Kingston. That's
yeah.
just exactly what I
That's-
thought.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, right?
Having vacation in Cape May several times in my life, so yeah. It's
Yeah,
pretty
right? Absolutely. So, so it was busy, which was great. And I haven't had an
Now-
opportunity. Have you been down to the farmer's market on Sunday?
Cool. Yes.
Down on the
A couple
Strand?
weeks ago.
Is it similar to the one uptown, or?
It's different offerings.
Okay.
It's
That's
A
great.
little
That's
smaller.
good.
Physically, it's a little smaller, so therefore probably a few less vendors. But it's very casual. It seems more. I don't want to say touristy because that can have a bad meaning. It's more
More
casual, in and out. Because it's along the park. It's on the water. So there's people there walking that don't even know there was a farmer's market. Oh wow, look, a farmer's market.
Okay.
Whereas uptown, people are going to it. They know it's a farmer's market. They're going there.
Yes.
In and out, not necessarily leaving, but they're in the market, out.
No,
sort
but
of.
your destination is the
Yeah.
farmer's
Whereas
market.
downtown, people,
Wander upon
yeah,
it.
will want, have lunch on the deck at Mariners, and they'll be watching all the people. Then they'll walk out and go through it, or ship to shore, or whatever. That was
gotta get down there.
That
I-
was my observation.
Yeah, I haven't been down there yet.
And it was nice, great. My buddy, his name just flew, Stefano from the Meat Wagon.
Oh, right.
He has a booth there, and there's one of the local distillers is there. Several farm,
Like produce and
the
things like
fa-
that,
farm hub,
vegetables, fruits.
whatever, exactly, traditional stuff. And I think the honey person was down there. The honey.
Oh, yeah,
honey,
yes.
the honey lady, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Nice offering. So,
Great. And that's every Sunday, I think, from 10 to 2, right? Yeah. Which is great. So you have two opportunities. If you don't make the one uptown on Saturdays, you can go down on the Strand on Sundays. And I know Saugerties has a great farmer's market. I know
Yeah.
Woodstock does one.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the communities throughout Ulster County do farmers
Yeah.
markets on weekends.
What was interesting is there was an alumni thing at my camp over the weekend, a family camp out thing, but I wasn't part of it because did something the weekend before. And one of the current camp director's mother came. She's not alumni, from Minnesota. And, Friday night they went out, they came to Kingston and ended up coming to Kingston both nights. But talking to her yesterday, I stopped in for, the office, whatever, chatting with her.
Right.
And, she's like, oh, Laura said you live in Kingston. What a great little town. And blah, blah. She's like, I don't know. Friday they went uptown. They had dinner. I forget where they had dinner. And then, they were looking online and they saw about the waterfront. So they went back Saturday. She's like, it's like two entirely different towns, just gushing about it.
That's a great point that you
She's
really don't
like,
think
I
about.
had no, she's like, it was like two distinct little towns, two separate trips.
Yeah, really
across the
different.
river, big whoop, 15 miles, whatever. But
Yeah,
it
sure,
was
but
the way she was like, tickled by it or pleased by it. It was interesting. It was like, oh my, wow. I was
well,
like,
she brings a really good point up because when you think about it, you go to Rhinebeck, it's Rhinebeck, or you go to I don't know,
Stockbridge.
yes, or Saugerties, it's Saugerties, and that's it. But when you come to Kingston, you have two really distinct areas to visit,
Yeah,
and
and
I never
then-
really thought about that.
Yeah, and then I sort of, after she was saying, I put it together. You know, I owned West End Grill for 10 years downtown, and boaters too. Boaters would come in. Oh, that was a neat little place. The
Right.
docks, the restaurants. You know, there's a couple of nice bars. I have no idea about uptown. Whereas someone coming off the throughway, skiing, or coming up, to
Right,
the
they're
Catskills,
uptown.
They're uptown, and nothing to do with the water. So
Yeah.
it's like interesting.
That's really interesting. Yeah, that's a great observation for sure.
But you brought up something earlier. You said, "Oh, it was in the paper the other day." I have no idea because I get my paper like once a week now.
Why?
It is
Oh, your delivery
It's
ridiculous.
happening to
person.
my mother. It's happening to everyone. Mario Catalano and Hugh Reynolds were in here a week ago,
Friday,
Yeah, and they're having the same problem. My mother gets 4 papers delivered a day, and some days they come, some days they don't come. So she calls up the company that is scheduled for, and what I'm hearing from Hugh and Mario, my mom, and I don't know if you have called there yet. The guy that delivers them, the guy with the little light on his car or whatever, he's not getting them dropped off from the warehouse or from. Usually a truck
Printer,
will come
yeah,
and drop him a
yeah.
pallet of papers. He'll put them together, or whatever. He's not getting them sometimes till 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, I
So-
wonder why. We get
I don't
ours
know.
every morning
Me
with
and
no
my mother
problem by
think that it's probably
5:30. I got up
delivery
5 this
issues.
morning. It
Yeah,
was there.
Probably something to do with people not working, a backup, and
the routes.
no drivers.
Because I noticed we're walking my dog in the morning, Pine Street. People on Pine Street are getting theirs, and I'm not getting mine. It's a lot of the. I don't think they have enough carriers.
Well, the Daily Freeman. Remember, like when we were younger, a guy used to ride around on a bike and throw
Oh,
the
yeah.
paper
Yeah,
at your
right.
door.
Yeah.
Or there used to be a Daily Freeman car, and they would just strictly deliver Daily Freemans. That doesn't happen anymore. Now it's one service.
It's independent. Yeah, but there's different
independent
routes
company.
and stuff. And,
So
yeah.
what
Yeah,
I
I
did
have
is
to
I
say
went over
we're
and told
lucky.
Raj, hey, my mom reads the Wall Street Journal, the USA Today, the New York Post, and the Freeman. You get all those stacked up for me in the morning on my way to work. I'll come and pay for them. And so, I mean, because you think all those the Wall Street Journal is like $4 a day.
Yeah, I
Oh,
bet.
yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Stuff in there, it's not going to hear anywhere else too. So
I'm sure there's a crossword in there for you, Cam. that you
I
can
bet I
bang
wouldn't
out.
doubt it.
So, a funny story about delivery of papers. So, our paper's always there every morning by 5:30. So, one morning, Dwayne heard the noise, and obviously it was them delivering the paper, but he wasn't sure. So, he looked out the window, and our delivery person had their dog trained to bring the paper, ran up to our front stooped there and dropped the paper and ran back to the car.
Really?
Honest to goodness.
that's every day
I
how
wouldn't have
you-
believed it unless he saw it. He said it was the
Really?
most amazing thing he ever saw. Yeah,
It's like,
and the
it's like
dog
Alex
was-
from Stroh's.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
fetch me a beer.
Yeah,
Wow.
he really had that dog trained well.
Huh, that's cool.
that amazing?
Save you
Yeah.
some miles.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can do one side of the street and you do the other. You get done in half the time.
Right, yeah, for sure. So that was interesting. So some sad news for the county. Paul Hansett, who was very active throughout Ulster County, a county legislator, town supervisor, Poughkeepsie police officer and detective, and just a wonderful family. His mom, his dad passed away this week, and we really give our condolences to Gina, his wife, and his children, beautiful grandchildren, and very sad. And Paul put up a fight, an absolutely unbelievable fight. He had pancreatic cancer, and he fought it for years, and he went through quite a bit. So our condolences to the Hansett family. A real loss to our community, and we'll keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Yeah, very sad. But yeah. So Cameron, today we have a busy schedule this morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Bill Forte.
Yes.
Christine.
Wait, isn't the mayor
Hahn.
coming on first?
Oh,
at
he should be.
7:30?
Yeah,
We
he should.
can't forget about him.
I
Can't
was
forget
trying to
the
think-
mayor.
Yeah, I know, but Bill was the first.
You know,
one
if
I've
Bill
done.
ever bore, I mean, I'm not saying he's bored. If Bill ever bores you about veteran stuff, because there's almost so much veteran stuff you can hear, have that guy talk for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes about all the cruises he's been on. He's been on about 40 of them.
Really?
Oh my God, this guy knows more about cruises, where you should go, how you should say. I mean, he's like the tour guide for
Wow.
cruises.
Lawrence, I had to tell you a story. I've been on one cruise my whole life. The kids, for my 60th birthday, we did a cruise to Bermuda. We're on the cruise, the welcome cocktail party, only cruise. Who is on the cruise?
Bill Forte?
Absolutely. I almost died when I
Yeah.
saw him. So you're
That's
very
funny.
correct.
He-
You're
yeah, one day, I
absolutely
was waiting
correct.
for him when we were in the old station, and he was still on with Fred and Cynthia. He had came into the booth, like it was, in the separate rooms or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, you look happy. He was smiling. He's like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go on a cruise. This is before COVID or whatever. I'm like, you like those things? And I was like, it's just. He's like, oh, I love them. Me and my wife go on like 3 or 4.
Once you know the ins and outs.
Yeah, and he goes, he goes, the fact how you can eat, you yes, it's probably $900 per person to go or whatever. You got to pay for your booze but all the restaurant eating, the breakfast, the lunch. All the different. I mean, there's also gambling in there, but he goes, the food. If you want a lobster at 4 a.m, you get a lobster at 4 a.m.
Yeah, the food is amazing.
They spare no expense when it comes to that. But
yes.
Which one did you go on, Nina?
Princess.
Princess.
Cruise.
Is that the one that leaves from Florida, or is that the one that leaves from New York?
New York.
New York. Okay.
Yeah. It was great. It was wonderful.
You didn't
Only
get
cruise I've
seasick
ever
or
been
nothing?
on.
What's wild?
You didn't get seasick or anything?
No,
No?
I
Those
didn't.
things don't even move.
No, I didn't. I did have the patch behind my ear.
Oh, okay.
I did get the patch from the doctor behind my ear.
Because remember when Curran and Danielle got married?
Yeah.
They went on that Norwegian one for 10 days.
They get sick.
Yeah, they were. Danielle had just rolled her ankle. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So remember, she got married with the crutches. So and then Curran got. They had rough seas for like 2 days.
Yeah, we are very calm.
No,
But
very
10
calm.
days is a little. How long did you go? 10 days would be a little too long for me.
Yeah, no, we went a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could be out of civilization.
Sunday
You
to
went to
Sunday.
Bermuda. You were in Bermuda for a couple of days.
3 days in
Yeah,
Bermuda.
so
All right, so you
That's-
stop, but you're on land for a little while.
Yeah,
But
3
you
days
stay
in
on the
Bermuda.
boat at night, but you can go off during the day.
Yeah, and the boat, you still could do dinner on the boat and
Right.
everything else.
And
yeah.
how long does it take to get from New York to? Is that another couple day ride in there?
Yeah. it
So a
was
couple
two-
days to get there, stay there for 3 days, then a couple days to get back. It's over.
That's it.
That's
We
cool.
had it was interesting because of course everybody who knows Dwayne knows that he went to the Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point. So and he sailed oil tankers. He was a second mate on oil tankers when he
Really?
first graduated. So we're all up on the deck by the pool, the kids and I and Dwayne. And so all of a sudden he said, "This ship changed course. We're heading back towards New York." And we're like, "What's wrong with you? Come on,
But
Dwayne."
he knew that from working on him.
Felt it.
He felt it. He
Felt
said,
the
"You
ship
know
move.
what?" And he felt the winds change, and he said, "Look at the stack. The smoke from the stack was now going." And we're like, "Why would we be turning around and going back to it?" This was like our maybe a full day out into sea. And one of the staff had a heart attack, and we actually did turn around and go back towards New York, and they had a helicopter
Medevac
on
around.
the
Oh,
ship.
trying to
Yeah,
get
they had to
close
get
enough
close
to
to
land.
land.
He knew right away, and the
He
ship hadn't
knew.
even turned or whatever.
That's
Yes.
like
That's
that's
crazy.
cool. That's knowing your stuff, man.
Yeah.
Right?
You-
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he was second mate on an
He was
oil
a
tanker,
mariner,
I'm sure he was
you know?
on bigger.
That's cool.
Because cruise ships are freaking gigantic.
Dude, like a
Huge.
hotel,
Oh my
Yeah.
like
gosh.
a skyscraper sideways, floating. You know.
Yeah. And the Royal, I think it's Royal Caribbean, and I forget what the other one. That docks right before you start, right in Miami, right before you start heading down to South Beach. Their hub or whatever, Royal Caribbean,
Oh,
is
yeah,
right in
yeah, yeah.
Miami, and they have boats that are lined up, and they have these little like mini hotels for that you stay in there while you're waiting for the other people to leave. They quick clean the boat real fast, and you're in there hanging out. Then you go on to there, then they roll other people. I mean, it's like a big business. I mean, there's probably like,
Huge.
I mean, how many people you think were on your cruise? A couple thousand?
Oh yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
easy,
yeah.
right?
I don't know, but yeah, absolutely.
And the food was good?
Food was excellent. Yeah, food was
And
excellent.
is there a casino and all that stuff
Casino,
on there?
yeah.
So that's the
pool,
thing. Like,
entertainment.
You're bored at like 10 o'clock at night. You're like, oh, let me go stick a 20 in. They're hoping, like, let me go stick a 20 in the machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's they're making a lot of their money.
Yeah. And it's all self-contained, so it's it's nice.
City,
yes.
yeah.
And once, like you said, once you pay for your cruise, I mean, other than what you drink, and
Right. Now,
outside.
but everything in the restaurant, though, like, that is all free. But if you're out by the pool having a drink, you got to pay for that?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could buy beverage packages, so you could buy a beverage package, so
That's cool.
you're not paying per drink. But
That's
anyway,
cool.
but that was funny. Bill Forte was on that cruise, so you're absolutely
That's
right.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been on a lot of
A
them.
buddy of mine from college worked for I forget which one for years, food and beverage end of it, and he, at the end of his, he did a variety of jobs over the years, but was purchasing, logistics, like getting the stuff, and other ports, like you go some of those long cruises, they go to Europe and stuff like that. They have to resupply certain things, like and arranging it like to pick up stuff in Belgium or wherever port they need, or in the south of France. It's global. I mean, just
Yes,
because it's
absolutely.
they dock in Florida or whatever, but they got a warehouse in Europe.
Well, no,
because-
I think that's just one of their, like Norwegian. I think they're based out of New York City, right? That one of them
yeah,
are there.
one of them's there.
But
yeah.
I've also been down. I remember one time when I was living in Florida. One day, the front page of the Sun Sentinel, 2 tugboats or maybe even 3 were pulling a Royal Caribbean back into port. They lost their water and their power, and guests were no shower for a couple of days. I mean, that can't be good.
That cannot be
but that doesn't
pleasant at
happen.
all.
That's
Well,
very
some of those,
rarely.
there's fresh flowers every day. They have to, make stops for food and
Oh, yeah.
repairs and sick people, and it's like the complexity of what's going on, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so we were talking about the mayor coming on earlier.
Yes.
And Christine Hine and Bill Forte. Christine, I heard on the radio that Christmas in July is coming up.
Yes.
The Santa thing on the roof.
Yeah,
so
July 25th, right?
hopefully she can talk about that.
Yeah, and
So-
I believe Bill Calderera, who's president of Ulster Savings
He's going to be
Bank.
up there for a while?
Yeah,
I know
he's gonna be- yeah.
Craig Trump's going to be up there for a while.
Yeah. And I had the opportunity, and we probably talked about this last week. Oh, we did. But she just opened the Wellness Center, the
Yeah,
Empowerment Center, so
yeah.
she'll talk about that. And I heard the first week was a huge success.
Yeah.
I heard everything.
Last week Dan said he was at the opening.
Yep.
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
Cam, did anybody win last night?
No, the Queen of Hearts. I can't believe this. The Queen of
So
Hearts.
it's 4,800 now? Or?
No, it's 52. I wrote it down.
52?
I got to call the Murph.
Okay,
Roger
so
came over last night. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta get.
so
this.
help us.
52-12. It's down to 4 cards, which I absolutely
And
can't
you didn't make it
believe.
last night because Roger left my house. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta get there. I
Yeah,
was like,
no,
all
he
right.
didn't.
So tell us what this is.
So the Queen of Hearts is a drawing. It's a deck of cards plus jokers. So
Okay.
on the wall, each card is in a little envelope, numbered 1 through 54, on like a locked bulletin board. And each week, it's a $1 a ticket. You say, okay, I think the Queen of Hearts is in envelope 5. So you write 5, you put it in the jar. Once a week, they pull out a thing. Oh, Cameron, we picked your envelope number 5. So they open number 5 envelope, and if the Queen of Hearts is in it, I win the jackpot. It's a fundraiser, giveaway thing.
And then and if it's not in there, then that
Starts
number
over.
5 comes
Yeah,
off.
5 is eliminated.
Okay.
And because obviously the Queen of Hearts wasn't in the 5.
So it's been going
I
on
picked a 2 of
50
clubs.
weeks, right?
Yeah, and so
So there's 4 cards
4
left.
cards left, so 50 weeks, every week for like a year, and we're down to, 4 left.
And you're one of the 4?
Oh, no, there's
So every week you got to get in on it.
Yeah, every week
So-
you have to redo.
So when I went over for
I
Cam's
Cam's
see.
jackpot
I
grows.
see. I see.
yeah, when I
I
went
see.
for Cam's birthday back in
February.
the middle of February, the pot was almost at like 2,000, and I'm like, oh wow, this thing, someone's going to hit soon. There was a lot of people around.
Yeah, there was, 20 more cards then. Or
Right, there was
whatever.
20 more cards then, exactly. So
So what happens now? There's 4 cards left, and so there's like
there's got to
15
be a winner in the
people.
next 4 weeks.
So there's 15 people, and there's only 4 cards. So a lot of people are
Whoever's
going to.
whoever's ticket, there's a lot of tickets, because now people are buying a lot of tickets.
Right.
There's people dropping $40 worth.
So ever ticket is pulled out is going to win the
but your ticket
jackpot.
has a number, so it's a 1 in 1,000 chance or whatever that they're pilling your ticket,
Yeah.
and then it's a 1 in 4 chance that you have the right number.
Right.
So
Right,
it's like
But you
okay.
got to be there every week to be in on it. Like if you
No, you don't have to be there.
But I'm saying, but you got to pay every week to get in on the
yes,
thing.
you have to
right?
buy new tickets. That's how
Right.
the jackpot grows.
Right. And it's
Was
kind
it-
of like
was
what
it-
we used to do at Lions, need a 50-50 raffle, but with them it's 60-40, so the club makes money.
Okay.
So you could, like remember the ones they used
Yeah,
to do
the-
at lunch
Yeah,
when we were
I
at
do.
Holiday Inn?
yes.
Yeah, it's
the-
the
yeah,
same
the
type
lot-
of thing.
we give
On a
away
much
60%.
smaller scale, though.
60% we give away, and 40%.
20%. What's the jackpot at now?
52.50.
52.50.
No, that's a nice little
That's
chunk of
exciting.
change.
But
Yeah.
to me, the odds, like 4 left. One. It's just.
For the next 4 weeks, Cam, you got nothing to do on Monday. What is it,
Exactly.
8
Come
o'clock?
on
Except to
down.
go, yeah.
Live stream it.
Yeah, you're right.
You can bring the cameras over. Are you guys,
Our buddy Ken Backhoffen and his wife Leslie, they moved to Florida,
Right.
and he's been in on it for 50 weeks, whatever. He sent his son Chris last
Oh,
night.
and
I've met Chris. He's a great guy, kid, known him for several years, and he comes in into the lodge once in a while. But he strolled through the door at 8:45. He's like, "I got my dad's tickets here, whatever," and it was funny.
That's great.
But yeah, even remotely, people are sending their proxies in.
Well, it's kind of nice, too, because it keeps everybody in the game.
yeah, it's
yeah.
fun. It's 9 o'clock. 9:10. See, everybody go home.
Right,
whatever.
right.
yeah, you hit that 5,200, and you're just
Yeah, I'm going on
I
vacation.
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
We're definitely
I'm
That's
gonna
paying
nice.
pay
off
That's a
somebody
big
to paint my
jackpot.
front porch, paint my front porch, so I don't
There
have
you
to
go.
paint it.
Yeah,
And then I'm gonna
then you go on
There
vacation.
you go. All right, you guys want to go to break, and then we'll come back with the mayor?
Sure.
Okay, great.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Swimming pools are great for family fun, and Central Hudson wants you to play it safe. Never operate an electric appliance next to or in the pool. Be sure pool motors and filters are grounded. Have them installed by a professional and serviced by a licensed professional electrician. Be very careful if there are electric lines above or near a pool, especially if using long-handled cleaning tools. And if a storm is nearby, get out of the water. Your safety matters.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? By shifting to a system that gives more patients access to strong primary care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
Screening exams for breast, lung, or colorectal cancers are necessary to detect and treat disease at its earliest, most curable stage. But you may have some concerns and questions. Answer your questions and ease your fears by visiting radiologyinfo.org. In addition to information on screening and wellness, you'll find more than 200 descriptions of radiologic exams, procedures, and treatments to help you prepare. Get informed and be prepared. Visit radiologyinfo.org. Produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by the First Savings Bank in Ulster County that still remains local to this day. Ulster Savings Bank, a community bank that's invested in local business, invested in community, invested in you. Ulster Savings Bank, your one-stop resource for everything local. Locations throughout the Hudson Valley and online at ulstersavings.com. Member FDIC.
And we are on.
We're back
with our first guest of the day, the Honorable Mayor Steve Noble. Good morning.
Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, happy to be back.
It's great to have you in the studio.
Yeah. Lots going on.
Yeah. So lots going on. The splash pad, I haven't been in it personally, but I've driven by on my bike in the car. It looks awesome.
Yeah, the pool has really come together really nicely, with all of the...
Just in time.
Yes, and, we've been able to get a lot of kids out in the pool this summer so far with our summer camps. We haven't had the greatest weather, and rain and chlorine and pools don't really go well. It washes away a lot of our work.
Yeah.
But we've been the staff there have been really doing a great job trying to do our best to keep the pool clear and clean and
scrambling to get chlorine.
Yes,
I've waited.
Very expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
very expensive right
Trucking.
now.
It's from the factories to the distributors, and from the distributors, both links. That's what they're telling me at the chemical company.
Right.
Yeah. But
thankfully, we haven't had any issues getting chlorine, but we know the price of the material has all gone up for both residential and more of our type of commercial grade. It's just. I even know the water department, it's an issue that we're facing because we use a lot of chlorine in our water, of course, and our costs have gone up, 100%. At this point from last year. So it's just, there's and it was all because of that storm that hit the, Gulf Coast.
Right, that's right, yeah.
And then the backlog of trucking and all of a sudden everything ramped back up at once and not enough dearth of truckers.
But I have to say, it's all coming together really nicely. We're going to have a grand kind of celebration in August as kind of official ribbon cutting with some of the state government officials because
cool.
It's one of our downtown revitalization initiative projects, and so between the new lining in the pool and the new the cracks that we repaired, the new roof, the new drainage work, the new splash pad. We've invested.
Stop the leak.
Invested a lot of money in the pool, and so we're excited to be able to that. And also Frog Alley. We actually were scheduled to do a ribbon cutting with the Secretary of State on March 13th of 2020, which was actually
Friday the 13th.
Friday
that was
the 13th.
The day.
Happened.
The day.
And so we ended up canceling that event, and so we haven't been able to really give that project its due either. The Friends of Historic Kingston and Repco, they really did a
quietly
fantastic
open.
job.
The fence disappeared and the grass was cut. And it's like,
and every time I see someone now being able to be inside and actually being able to be inside this
sitting on the windowsill. Whatever.
And the fact that it's able to be touched and be, open to visitors. And, next phase will be we have to look for some funding to do some interpretive signage and some other landscaping on the site. But
it's like 300 years old.
Yeah, it's really come together quite nicely.
Yeah, first step. Yeah, which is great. And the parks program is going well?
Yeah, we've dealt with the summer rain as best as possible. But, we've really had a great group of people who were willing to come back to work and willing to everything from lifeguards to summer camp counselors to our park directors.
We're lucky.
Yeah, we just have a lot of
lifeguard.
people.
I hear Fred, lifeguards all over and high demand.
Yeah, even with us, we're trying to run our pool and beach operation with 8 or 9 lifeguards. And so they're all working a lot and they're really committed. And, when there's vacations, we've had to curtail some of our hours. But we've really tried to keep everything open. And this year, we decided to make our pool free to everyone and not have any residency requirements. We refill.
Has that resulted in?
Yes, we've been very busy. We're our maximum capacity is 75 people right now, and so we're at. We're full every day for public swim and lap swim.
Do you have to count heads? It's gotten that close?
We do.
Really?
Yes,
so it's gotten that close?
Yeah, every day, usually on the sunny days, within a half an hour, 45 minutes, we're pretty close to capacity. One of the reasons why our normal capacity is 100, but because of all of the work that we've done around the pool area, we need to let the grass grow and to be able to have access to because it's hot and we want people to be able to go in shade. And right now our space is limited with all of the work that we've been doing because it's still somewhat an active construction site. There's still some work that we're finishing up. So, but still with 75 people, it's been, that's plenty with COVID and with kids. We want to still have a little bit of space because any child under the age of 12 isn't vaccinated, and so we still want to be able to make sure that we keep people safe at the pool this summer.
Right, I agree. Yeah, and going down to the rail trail down by Kingston Point Beach, I have seen the beach has been very, very busy. Oh my gosh, one Sunday, it was just there was no room for anyone else.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
the parking lot was full and everything?
The parking lot was full. The beach was full.
Bingo out there. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I think last year during COVID, so many people, even that lived in Kingston, hadn't really ever ventured to the beach and found it as this oasis on the river that people could go to and they could socially distance and they could have a great time. And now everyone remembered that. And so they're still coming back, which is wonderful. We actually have a really great active construction project happening right now at the beach. We're building a brand new youth soccer field. And
where is that, man?
So right behind the pavilion.
Towards the tanks, sort of.
Yeah, so that whole big field as you drive in on the right-hand side. We used to have a playground there that was pretty decrepit. And a big open field, so it would always get really soggy and wet. And so we were actually raising it all up. We're building a new 40-plus car parking lot closer to the ball field end of the lot. And
like on the other side of the driveway there, opposite the field, where the field's going to be?
Yeah, in that same area. Yep. And then we're in a soccer field. So it'll be parking lot, soccer field, pavilion.
A regulation youth size soccer field? Okay.
And so it'll be our first regulation youth size soccer field, that we have in
our
city of Kingston.
Because
they're playing out in the town of Ulster.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so it's a $300,000 grant that we received from the state a few years ago, and we've been designing, and the staff have really done a great job at getting it all together.
Now, is this going to be a new Kingston Rec League, or is it going to be?
For now, it's going to be a public field, and I think we're looking forward to people using it.
Yeah,
and,
that's cool.
For now, hopefully it may mean that in the future, Parks and Rec can help support soccer in a variety of ways. There already are some really great soccer leagues and organizations.
KSL is big.
You may not need to reinvent the wheel.
If they're going to hey, let us use your field, or expand their league or something.
So it's going to be a public field. It's
Cool.
free and open for people to use. So we're excited to be able to have that, and also to have more parking for those folks that play softball or use the dog park.
Yes.
They know that with sea level rise, the parking lot across the street has slowly disappeared.
Yeah, well,
Isn't
a beaver
No.
to blame for that?
No.
Didn't someone on the radio tell us that?
Yeah, there was a rumor a long time ago. The former alderman senior of that ward swore up and down that it was beavers that were causing the floods.
Someone was on the radio.
But it's not true. Unfortunately, it's
climate change.
Climate change. Both the sea level is rising, but also the land is sinking, which happens a lot in low-lying areas.
Yeah.
That was all fill. It used to all be a wetland prior to us using it as a landfill as a city, and then eventually now it's ball fields. But everything is sinking. So if you ever play softball there, it's not the flattest field. It has lots of rolls and divots, and that's all because the land is just settling still.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is this is the first phase of the project to put in a new 40+ car parking lot to be able to add additional capacity for people who play softball, use the dog park, use Rotary Park, use the beach. And then the next phase, our staff are currently writing a grant to be able to turn the part of the parking lot that's already wet into an official wetland.
Isn't that...
And then to raise the rest of the other parking lot.
There was, some time ago, there was the... like a redesigning of the point to address climate change and all that. Is this part of, are these elements
these are
that
all
fit into that
overall
long-term
steps
plan?
to be able to kind
mitigating
of
the effects of...
Yeah, and our goal now is to be able to raise enough of the property to be able to let people use it and enjoy it. If you go to the beach today, you'll see all of this construction, but everywhere where there isn't construction, everything is soaked. Everything is wet. There are puddles everywhere, ducks, in the middle of in the fields. It's just, we can't handle this type of rain. And we've gotten so many calls, this week about wet basements and flooding from the street.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Our infrastructure system, we all know, is 100 years old. You all know that we've been working so hard to be able to get our sewer.
Did you see those pictures on social media in the town of Ulster with the Walmart Caldor intersection there was flooded?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
My son showed it to me. Like 2 cars stalled out like halfway up the door. I guess so much rain came down the hill from, Lowe's and Home Depot, or, Lowe's rather, Walmart, that you would turn right to go towards the bridge, a whole intersection. There's cars up to the doors in there. So I've never seen that flood before, so...
Yeah,
it was just
everywhere.
Nowhere for the water to go, right? When
Yeah.
you have that much rain. And I think that's one of the things that we just kind of try to, having new sewer system lines and stormwater lines help. But even with that, our system is not designed. If you have an 8-ounce cup of water and you fill to 10 ounces, what
not gonna
happens?
hold it, right?
And the same thing with our pipes. They're only sized to be a certain diameter, and when you have so much rain and they can't fit in the pipe, it just finds somewhere else to go, and that's roadways, it's driveways, it's yards.
Every day, in New York City, every day you're seeing flooding. The storm sewers get overwhelmed and clogged with discarded face masks, and
No,
floods.
absolutely.
But other than that, the city we were talking earlier. The progress of the roundabout
is
looking
fantastic.
great. What a improvement that is.
Yeah, it was great to be able to we got together. We're at the Wellness Center at People's Place last week, and to be able to stand there and be able to see the roundabout working and having traffic moving and no backups. And
it's
I think it works
wonderful.
awesome.
So someone like myself who that's my route twice a day, if not more.
Yeah.
And it's just so convenient. There's no waiting anymore. There's no the traffic backing up because of the lights and not being able to make the turn on to Chandler Drive. It really, I cannot say enough. And the way it's designed, the single lane, which we talked about prior, really does make a difference. It's safe, it's easy to enter, to exit. So yeah, it's great. And the stonework and the landscaping is starting. Yeah, it's really going to look nice. You can start to see it. Yes,
going to be cool.
Yeah, they're spreading dirt. They just finished up the bluestone walkway in front of all of the historic homes there on Albany Avenue. So they're spreading dirt now adjacent to the sidewalk, and it really came out great.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I know those homeowners have really been through a lot with this project, and I'm sure they will be happy to be able to have this.
Poor anchor.
Yeah.
They can't wait.
It'll make a big difference.
And the Broadway corridor, when will that be completed?
Yes, so we are in the process now of finishing up some of the sidewalk work, and starting in August and September, we will have all of the paving done, and so by September 15th, we should be done with the streetscape project, so that whole Broadway corridor. And then what work will be happening next will be at Broadway and Grand.
Oh, yes, right.
So starting on July 26th, Prince Street will be closed for 2 weeks,
Wow.
so that they can start doing some pretty substantial work at that intersection. That'll be done by Halloween. So next week, the roundabout will be paved. So they'll be doing night paving for 2 nights because we know that there's so much traffic. And so to detour around the roundabout during the day to be able to pave would be impossible. So they're going to be doing 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. For
Good.
2 nights later next week, as long as the weather holds up. It was supposed to be last week, but with all the rain, it's just
that didn't happen.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that chimney that was struck by light? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
At Freeman, it was the picture, was it melted? It looks like
I think
it's scorched.
I think the bricks were blown off of it. So that
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was.
lightning
Because
is,
I was standing in my barbecue the other night, and Ben was standing on the front porch. We both happened to be looking at that lightning at 58 Fair Street, which is down, a block down from my house. It hit the backyard. It made me jump. I mean, the sky lit up. And all of a sudden, whoop, everything went dark. But that was some storm.
Yeah.
These storms are more severe, stronger.
I was talking to my son about this. I was like, Ben, it rained. Like, that was like Florida rain.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ben, when I was a kid, I remember it would rain like once or twice like this a year. Like, and you'd run out the street, you'd be splashing in the gutter. It happened like, literally once or twice. Yeah. Now it's happened 4 times this month already. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
I don't,
the weather is, the patterns.
When it's
everything
115
really
in Portland, Oregon, and,
Yeah, on Sunday, Julie and I, we went for a walk to Boyce's, and we looked at the radar. There wasn't really much. There's some scattered showers, and we were like, it was sunny and nice, and we were like, all right, let's get halfway there, and it poured.
Well, that's
Sunday
what happens,
afternoon.
just
And
all of a sudden.
Yes, and it was just out of nowhere, and it just like squeezing a towel right on top of us.
You can't fight it.
And they took our wet cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
You still had your ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So.
That's good.
Stood under the awning to eat it. You didn't want to dilute it in the rain.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But other paving going on around town?
Yeah, so we actually just finished this week East Strand. So the area down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was
East
rough.
Strand. That was rough. We just did Gill Street this Saturday. Actually, the Raquel Knox playground was actually completely refurbished. We removed a really old, kind of broken down playground and regraded the site. We're putting in a new mural. And so on Gill Street.
Gill Street, yeah.
Yes. And Catherine there at that intersection. And so we'll be putting in on 9:30 on Saturday. We'll be having the family come from the Knox family to, do a ribbon cutting and community celebration.
Nice.
We don't have a lot of smaller neighborhood playgrounds like that are really kind of designed for the neighborhood children. We have these big parks, but that park and Van Buren Street are 2 of our only, just kind of pocket playgrounds, and they have over the years gotten forgotten about. And so this one really needed some TLC. And so working together with the community, and we were really able to, put together a nice project there. So that's good. And I think that the people love to be able to have their neighborhoods paved. A big project that we're going to be working on this summer as well is Beale Street. So there's a whole section of Beale Street that needs to be paved, basically
Block Park,
from Ravine all the way to Wilbur.
That corner around Block Park. And,
under the railroad
if there was
tracks
some way to make that by the old block plant. That blast that little nose of rock out.
Yeah.
Because that's such a scary intersection, man.
It is.
Nice thing about
not intersection, scary stretch. It's narrow. I've been driving, and all of a sudden you come out and there's a bicyclist or a pedestrian there.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah. So hopefully with some new pavement, we'll be able to expand. We push out the shoulders however far we can.
You can only go so much. There's water on one side and rock on the other. So it's,
Good news also for folks who use Block Park, especially for softball, we'll be paving the Block Park parking lot.
Oh, that's great.
And that's been a much
nice.
needed.
Dusty.
And to be able
you
to
stand there and the car drives through, it's like.
Yeah, and to be able to create an entrance and exit so that it's more
pretty loosey-goosey
there for the residents. Because it's a highly utilized lot.
It is. Yeah. It's a busy.
There's no curb there. The whole width of the lot.
You can just pull in and out.
And some new guardrail to kind of help keep people safe because it is a highly traveled area.
So busy road.
Yeah, so that's going to be an August project for us. So that's going to be
that's
exciting.
great.
But our staff have really, between all of the rain and paving and all of our traditional, DPW duties. Everyone's
so
working
speaking
hard.
of Wilbur Avenue, the bridge, the Wirt Street Bridge. They said how I had to go out to rebid and all that. Is that moving along? Or
So our understanding is that they are they're in that process now, and they are committed to with the funds, over almost $40 million. At this point, to be able to get the project done, and they hope to start at this point probably in the spring. By the time, but they may be able to do some work later this fall. They can't really work through the winter. On that kind of project. So.
And then you have the bridge. Is it Elmendorf Street? No.
Yes.
Yes, Elmendorf.
Yep. That's another one where we've gone out to bid and are waiting to see. We've got everything's coming back much more expensive.
Well,
outside of our control.
You can do about that, yeah.
Yeah,
so we're gonna.
I mean,
but with materials also being difficult to get, we're trying to determine, whether the project is a this year construction or a next year construction. But it's a very busy street, and to not have that connection.
And contractors too are busy and backlogged and everything. So it's.
That's a
lot going on.
And I think that's it just shows that we need to, especially if Congress passes an infrastructure bill, which we hope that they will, we're really going to need to step up our, local workforce to be able to account. If we get millions of dollars for infrastructure, we're going to need people to work, to help us build new bridges and build new roads and to be able to. So I do think that that's going to be good for our economy, really good for us locally because we want to make these investments. But at the same time, it does need job training. It does need, and that's why we work a lot with our local unions to be able to make sure that we support apprenticeship programs.
That complicates the issue of the plant on Route 28 for the U.S. Crane, the concrete facility up there. It's like everyone, cranes and bridge, that type of product is what Biden's trying to push, and yet we're trying to fight that. That could be a huge growth business.
It's a difficult situation.
That complicates this local situation. For our.
Hey, Tech City's available.
Yeah,
so if they'd like to move to an environmentally sensitive location.
There you go.
Call Tom Wanger.
It looks like the county is going to be working to try to take over through foreclosure the rest of Tech City, which I think
it was in the paper, but
will be really good news.
Legal land.
Yeah.
Legoland was there?
That'd be cool, right?
I think it's too small, but something out there.
I saw in the paper the sinkhole, the lawsuit with the sinkhole has been decided, and that's been, when I read the article, I'm like, oh my gosh, you forget about the sinkhole now and how many years it went on and the litigation and so forth. So that had to be a welcome that you came to a conclusion
it's partial.
with that.
Partial, not fully concluded. We were able to settle with a couple of the companies that, really had very little impact on the project. So we are still actively, though, going after kind of the main culprits, of the issue. So we're in litigation now with them still.
It was a grout. It was about the over pumped grout and the blockage downstream.
Because we had just put in a brand new sewer line, which then got destroyed, and we had to then put $2 million back into it again. Which added to the complications for the project.
We had to pay for them to destroy the sewer line.
So that's, I hope that it'll all work out in the end
hope so.
for us as taxpayers, but I know we've got a good case, so.
That's good. That's great. And the Common Council's been busy. I see they're looking at putting in a fee for hotels, B&Bs,
We've got to
Airbnbs.
be able to do something to be able to track, all of these Airbnbs. I think that's by having a registration system is the very first step.
A bunch of them on Fair Street, I know.
So because once we have a registration system, we can then inspect them, just like we do with hotels and bed and breakfasts, and making sure that the county is getting their due in terms of sales tax and lodging tax. And so it's really and then there can be further conversations about regulation of how many we have. But for now, it's really about.
Well, there's a lot of like Woodstock and Saugerties are having a lot of problems with like a few properties that the landlord or the owner seems unwilling or unable to control who's renting it with noise and traffic and everything. So, I mean, that's a step to help.
Yes, and I think
accountability,
understanding which ones are non-owner occupied. There's a big difference, right? I think the ones where, you can just rent a whole house or rent a party house, have a wedding, those really create issues. But I do think that we are really looking to control those type. Folks who are renting a house inside their home, we're not as concerned, and those are not usually the.
Now, also, since you were on last, the accessory dwelling issue has been raised, and
yeah, the Common Council is talking about that. I'm a supporter of being able to have these units
absolutely in the right circumstance and situation,
and 500 square feet or less to be able to have a kind of mother-daughter type apartment built in your backyard. I think it's really. For me, it's, do my parents move to an assisted living facility someday, or do they move into my backyard? Right. And I feel like, or with my son, do I want him living off on his own completely, or would I be happy to have him out of the house, but in an apartment next door?
Yeah, so many houses in King, old carriage houses and detached garages that are finishable. I mean, if the speech parking on the street allows, and the lot size and egress, and you get a fire engine up the driveway, then there's no reason, I think, not to allow it in.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a part of the process. I think that there are concerns. People have raised concerns, but I think we just have to keep talking about it, and we got to work through the concerns.
Get the correct wording in the zoning change or whatever.
Yeah, and we're doing a whole entire zoning rewrite that we're going to be launching, which is going to really help Kingston. Kind of our zoning is from 1960s, and obviously a lot has changed in Kingston since then that we really need to adapt for. I mean, if you've ever tried to build anything, we have so many overlay districts and so many zones upon zones, and what's the difference between R1 and R2 and R3 and R4 and RRR, and the regular homeowner has no idea what they're allowed to do or not do in their house.
No, very true. Very true.
And it then becomes a very complicated, confusing situation when you try to have your contractor build something, because sometimes they don't know either, and they build something that they're not supposed to, and then it becomes an issue. And so we just want a clear zoning code, and one of the best parts of this is that they'll be actually able to have like visualizations, so that you'll actually be able to go to our website and be able to be like, well, what's my zoning and what would I be allowed to do in advance before you spend any money, before you hire an architect, before you go down that road. You'll be able to know kind of like what's allowed, in your neighborhood and what's not.
You can't just start a cheese factory in your garage or something.
Right, exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So.
We have like 3-4 minutes, so I'm sure there's other things you want to update us on or that's going on, so.
Yeah, I think, for us, we are spending a lot of our efforts focusing on gun violence. The county executive and I today are going to be having a press conference with the sheriff and the police chief unveiling a brand new initiative, which I hope everyone will learn about once we roll it out this afternoon. We're.
I think there's I had a little sneak preview of that initiative, and I know you can't say anything to the press conference, but I think people will be really pleased about it, and I think it's a real positive direction.
I think so too,
Yeah,
and
personally.
because we know that this is a critical issue, and we don't want any gun violence in our city, and we really want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to keep illegal weapons from being used, and really being able to intervene before they get used, and to really kind of help break that cycle of violence that often inflicts some of the same families and same parts of our community So, we're working on that, and we're really focused on a lot of our community policing initiatives this summer. It's been great to be able to see our officers out on the street. We're going to be looking to add more resources to our police department. So I'll be announcing that today, too. Yeah.
Are going to be helping to, work on the initiatives that were identified.
We want to be able to have a 1-year and 5-year plan. Initial, low-hanging fruit, what can we tackle, how can we add mental health services to the options of our police officers so that they're not the ones necessarily being the first line of defense when someone's having a mental health emergency. So things like that we're excited to work on with Peaceful Guardians to be able to get initiated for the 2022 budget.
Yeah, as well as open communication lines, keep, the transparency and all that. So it's...
And in the end, we all want a safe city. That's what we
want.
And
I think it's such a positive that the county and the city are working together, because I think the more resources you pull together, the better it will all be for our community as a whole. So that's a positive also. It really is.
Yeah, and we're so lucky to be able to have a county executive that recognizes how important partnerships are and the willingness to kind of reach out regardless of party or affiliation or to be able to help our local municipalities.
The issue.
Yes, I know. We had to. The half hour goes too fast, man. Too fast. But even with Chiz and the House and everything working together with the county and the city, that's been a huge collaboration also. So yeah, but that's for another half hour show, right? There you go.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, well,
appreciate
thank you
your
both.
time. Thank you. Keep up the good work. And we'll talk to you in a month.
All right.
All right.
Thank
you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the Drug Facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the Drug Facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/Drug Facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Introducing the YMCA. Sure, you know the Y for a swim or a game of hoops, but we're more than that. We're a cause. When you take a jump shot at the Y, someone else is getting job training. Practice yoga as a team practices her leadership skills. We give people of all ages, incomes, and backgrounds a chance to learn, grow, and thrive. So while you might think of the Y as the place for lifting weights, we're also about lifting entire communities. That's the Y. We're so much more. Visit ymca.net/more.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Hi, this is Tony Marmo from Norman Staffing, and we've been bringing together employers and job seekers since 1980. If you're an employer and have job vacancies, let Norman Staffing help fill them with permanent or temporary workers. We screen, interview, and recommend the best candidates for your company. We make the employment process easier and faster for you. Please call Norman Staffing for your employment needs at 338-9111, 338-9111, or normanstaffing.com.
Hi, this is Jim Quigley, Supervisor of the Town of Ulster, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
Rondout Savings Bank has a long history of serving local communities and maintaining a strong tradition of customer service excellence while providing each customer with the personal attention they deserve. Rondout Savings' approach to community banking puts you and the growth of your business in the front of everything they do. They're a different kind of bank and would like to tell you why, so please reach out to one of their expert business bankers for an appointment and let them show you what they can do for you. Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and the community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
And we are back. Terrific Tuesday. We just finished up our first segment with the mayor, and now we are joined by Bill Forte. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning.
How was veterans activities in Ulster County shaping up?
We're staying very busy right now.
Well, good. In a good way, I hope.
Yes. Oh, yes. The banners we've had around the city for the last 5-6 years now, we're getting ready to put them up, take down what's there and put new ones up for the third time. And I didn't plan to take orders until the beginning of August. I've already got 50 of them.
Really? 50 different? Are these new families, or
some of them are new? Some of them are they're redoing them
because they get faded and
some
bird
do.
poop, and they get whatever tattered. So, what's the life on one of those?
It depends where it's located. Actually, if it's in direct sunlight a lot, something we haven't seen a lot of the last few weeks. But if it's in direct sunlight a lot, it will fade.
A year or two, or
within a year or two, yeah.
How long is the ones that are up now? How long have they been up?
About 2.5 years.
Okay.
The first time we did it, I think we left them for 3, a little over 3, and we had a lot of them that were cracking or, we know we can get 2 years out of them, and that's what we've been trying to stick with.
UV light, weather is kills everything, whatever. So, so you redoing all of them? Like how many? There's over 100, right?
There's 309 up now. Well,
309.
We've taken some down as they redid Broadway, put the new poles. Some have been taken down. Yeah. For some reason on Schwenk Drive, there's been numerous poles that have been hit by cars. I don't understand it. It's pretty much a fairly straight road.
Well, it leads away from a few bars, so maybe that has some.
Maybe because that I
can see maybe a tall truck whacking them or something, but cars.
That's something. The new poles they're putting on Broadway, they come with the rods for mounting banners already on them.
Oh, that's cool.
But the bottom rod on those is too low. The maximum height of a tractor trailer or a truck is supposed to be, I think, 14 foot or thereabouts. These are way below that.
So you can.
And the poles are so close to the roadway, they're going to get hit.
Truck can whack them.
We've gone through that. We've replaced numerous ones. Had to get on the poles again and raise them.
Yeah.
They don't have that option.
Oh, they're fixed.
They're fixed. Well. So I don't know what they're going to do. I've got one idea.
A movable one on top or something, and use the top fixed one.
Well, you can't move them is the problem. But if they use the rod that's on top as the bottom rod and use one of the brackets like we have for the top one, they may be able to do it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. It's got a monkey with it, probably.
They're going to have to come up with something. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Most of the communities I've seen these banners up in the Adirondacks, for instance, the poles are back 3 or 4 foot from the roadway.
Well, that's because they get snow up there.
Right.
They get a lot of snow. They got
down here.
Yeah.
But I think I counted yesterday. I went out and I went through the city. I think there's 244 spaces that we can use this time, and that goes from along the Rondout, the section of Broadway from where the American Legion High School City Hall is. From there down to St. Mary's. Uptown, we have places on Wall Street, Fair Street, Main Street, and around Academy Green. But I counted 244 spaces.
Wow.
That's quite a bit, though.
Yeah. That's a lot of honoring a lot of soldiers with that. So.
If anybody's interested, there are applications available at the American Legion on Broadway, at the VFW on the bypass in Kingston, and at the city clerk's office. And all the information you should need is on there. Even my phone number, if there's some question you have, give me a call.
And how much are the banners?
The banners are $100 each.
Okay.
That's down, I think originally we were getting $150 the first year. But as the years went by, we accumulated these brackets for mounting and all.
Okay.
We don't have to repurchase them.
Yeah.
That's huge.
For the banners that are up now that we will be taking down, they should be available starting the beginning of September at the VFW.
Families can come and
Yep.
get them. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
There's still probably 100 banners up there from the last two times that people
Really?
never
Wow.
claimed. And we'll probably keep them till the end of the year, and those, we're going to have to get rid of them.
You have to make room
Right,
for
yeah.
the 200 new ones. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you've been busy. What else has been going on with
We've done a lot of work up at the Veterans Memorial and on Clifton Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
With the globe.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, I went up and I cut the bushes out of there, god-awful bushes.
They were overgrown and stringy.
They were
Yeah.
they were everything that you didn't want. We went up and we built flower boxes, filled them with dirt. My wife, with the two green thumbs, went up there with me helping. I don't want to take all the credit, but she was the brains behind this operation.
She guided you along. Yes.
And planted all sorts of flowers and stuff in there. But we noticed on one end, there's a total of 4 boxes. On one end, they came up thick and on the other end, they came up, but not as thick. There's 2 trees there, and they're god-awful looking trees, too. One of them, the branches were covering the stop sign. They were shading that box so bad. And then there were several dead branches. We cut the dead branches down, pruned the tree back a little so you can see the stop sign. The tree on the other end, most of it's dead. I don't know if and they're going up in the branches into the wires. I had mentioned it to the mayor to see perhaps Central Hudson will go in and do something. 'Cause it's in
Central
wires.
Hudson's been in our neighborhood just recently cutting back a lot of the trees the past week or two, so that is a possibility.
And also, up there, I went up, I spoke with the city clerk about whether or not the city might have some benches around that we could put there. And when she got back to me, she said, Mayor said it's okay to take the 2 that were down at the Visitors Info Center, which is closed down.
Right.
We went down there, the wood on it was shot for the most part, but the ends, about 100 pounds each.
Cast iron? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're good. So I took them up, and one of our guys is going to sandblast them down, repaint them.
Cast iron, the ends.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're looking at putting on that composite decking.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe.
It
Might
won't
be
rot.
soft.
Right, yeah.
The big thing will be when we go to put them in place, we need to put a concrete pad down under them.
To bolt them down, yeah.
And unfortunately, that whole triangle has been blacktopped, and none of it is level. It's all kind of rolling.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You'll
we'll
figure
get
it
it
out,
done.
right? Yeah, I was just going to say, you'll figure that
We've
out.
got a great group of veterans. There's not so many of them now, but Naval Seabees.
Oh,
These are construction
build
people.
anything under fire. The you were talking about the 4 flower boxes. The one who's grown up. I thought you were going to say the person who lived closest to that one flower box was
Took care of it or something.
a little Miracle Grow, a little extra water in or something.
Unfortunately, what happened is somebody up there went in and threw this mulch into it. The problem with the mulch in flower boxes is when you go to weed, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
You can't get at anything. You got to pull the mulch back.
They tried to help.
Hey, I understand that, and I don't fault them for that. It did make things difficult.
It didn't help too much, but
We did the same thing in front of the VFW. They had bushes there. There were handicap signs on the wall for parking. The bushes had overgrown them. They were at 3 different levels, and finally we ripped them out, built boxes, and did the same thing.
Yeah.
And I had the same horticulturist there.
Your wife there,
My
she
wife
helped,
did.
yeah.
the green thumb lady. There
And
you go.
we go back about once a week, and we cut back the dead buds and stuff.
Yeah, well, you have to keep it looking nice. You know, it's gardening. Gardening's not easy. You know?
No,
It takes
people don't
constant-
realize the work, right, that goes
constant,
into it.
work.
Yeah, to maintain it and to keep it up. And but those flower boxes look nice.
Yeah.
They do. I have to say, they make a big difference.
Contacted an artist down at the Lace Mills. He's in the process of repainting the globe.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
He ordered stencils for the continents. But one of the criticisms was the continents, as they were depicted on that globe, weren't that true to form.
Yeah. So
he's got these stencils he's going to use, and he hasn't been able to do anything in the last couple of weeks. It's either been 90 degrees or raining like the devil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
and then we have our big item coming up August 6th, 7th, and 8th at the VFW. It's the half-scale replica of the Tomb of the Unknown
Vietnam Wall,
Soldier.
yeah.
Not the
Talked about
Vietnam
that
Wall.
last month,
Yeah,
right,
and
Cameron?
you'll be on after it's here, so.
I will post
Bingo.
this.
Yeah, definitely put one of these in the,
County building.
oh my goodness, we forgot to do birthdays.
Oh, we did forget birthdays.
We didn't have any.
Well, that's a good thing. That was good. We knew
Send
that.
in your birthday announcements, people.
Yes, and remember, this is a call-in show, 331-9255, so if you have a
Bill
question.
Forte, yeah, the
Yes.
head of the Veterans Affairs in Kingston, pretty much Ulster County, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well,
you're the clearinghouse for the info.
we're primarily Kingston. We have, American Legion Post 150 out of Kingston. Kingston VFW Post 1386. Ulster County Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 156. Ulster Detachment Marine Corps League. Kingston Island X9 Naval Seabees. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. 156 Field Artillery Veterans Association. We have the Saugerties American Legion. And I think we're soon to get the Saugerties VFW also. But we pool all our resources and our
Do
expertise.
you work with the Highland? I know the Highland VFW is very active also. I've been down
We don't work directly with them.
Okay.
But our VFW, their VFW are part of the county organization.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about this. This is a replica of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And this is going to be right at the VFW,
Right at the VFW inside.
August 6th, 7th, and 8th, from 10 to 5 daily. Is that a weekend, Bill, 6th, 7th, and 8th?
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay. Which is great. So gives people opportunity to bring their children if they want.
Yes.
Yes, which, I mean, what a great opportunity to have. Tell us how it came to come here, how you brought it
Funny
here.
thing, I was reading the American Legion magazine, and there was a story about it. So I tracked down the organization that had built it. They're in, I think it's Rome, Georgia. I contacted them, and as it turned out, they were going to be in our area, actually over in Pennsylvania, in August. And I asked about having them stop in Kingston, and they said, how far is it? And I told them, and they said, sure. And they came back to me with those dates,
Wow.
and bingo.
Boy, that's fantastic.
Now, do you have to pay for this?
Oh,
or
yes,
rent it?
yes.
Okay. So is it going to be admission?
No, it's free, open to the public.
Oh, Memorial will be open to the public and free of admission.
Yep.
Wow.
There'll be an opening ceremony the first day, starting at noon.
At noon on August 6th. So is that Saturday, August 6th?
I don't have a calendar on my phone.
Yeah, I don't have my phone. I left it at work.
You know, weekdays, weekends run into to each other
Yeah.
with me, and come on,
But
everybody.
either way, so on.
That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, so Friday at noon, Friday,
Right.
August 6th, there'll be a rifle salute and the playing of taps.
We also have a speaker that'll speak briefly, a former guard from the tomb.
Really?
Oh, that's
wow.
Mark Casapoli from the Ulster
Yeah,
County
yeah,
Veterans
yeah,
Service
yeah.
has a friend who had been a guard there, and he's
Duty
arranged for him
there?
to be there.
Now, all right, is that the guards? I mean, I've seen the changing of the guards at Arlington. Is that is it one branch of the service does that, or do they switch?
The Army.
It's only the Army.
The Army.
Guards that. Huh. That's neat. You had a homework assignment for me last week or last month. You asked me something to the effect of why are the Marines take precedent
Senior to the Navy.
why are they senior to the Navy? And I looked it up. I have the answer. Because since they were founded in 1775 or whatever, they've been more consistent and true to their initial charter and have never wavered from their line of duty, or shall we say, or their mission, whereas the Navy's vacillated before and Something to that effect. That's what I get from reading the explanation on Wikipedia.
The Marine Corps is part of the Navy.
Yes.
Even their emblem has the anchor and all.
Yep.
But at the end of the American Revolutionary War, the military was more or less disbanded. Once we had a seated Congress and all, and they started authorizing the military, the Marines were authorized ahead of the Navy. I think it was a matter of months, but hey, first is first.
First is first, exactly. There's no, yeah.
But the senior service is the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard. Now the Space Force. But
I looked that up, so I was
only
listening.
Only a history nut like myself or a Marine would know that.
Well, now some of our
and anybody who's listening
attentive
now
listeners
knows.
know
Yes,
that. Exactly.
Absolutely.
But
sure.
the memorial here, does it? Do you know if is it constantly on tour? Does it ever?
I don't know if it's constantly or not. I know
and
they
who is the parent organization? Do you know?
There's an organization in Rome, Georgia, and their name escapes me, but they built this, bunch of veterans. They put it on tour as it's coming here and all, and I guess part of it was to give people an opportunity to see what the actual tomb looked like. Right. They also, each hour that while it's here, they'll speak briefly about it, and hopefully dispel some of the malarkey that you hear online, that they can never smoke or drink for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
There's a lot of malarkey out there. I mean, there are some strict things while they're there and all, but
and the symbolism of the cadence they walk, the number of steps, they present the whatever.
Right.
I mean, there's symbolism to every every portion of
that they do.
Yeah.
In this country, in the military in particular, we like to assign some kind of symbolism to everything.
Yeah, very true. Very true, which is
West
a good
Point,
thing.
their colors, gold, gray, black, supposed to be the color of the ingredients of gunpowder. If you know the color of the ingredients, it's not quite true.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I got one for why is the American flag red, white, and blue?
They had the colors. I don't know.
Well, you're pretty close.
Because France and England, they took the colors from all the other
The
European
British flag
flags.
was red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, they said, red is for the blood spilled on the battlefield. White is for the purity of our intention.
The blue is nothing is above us or whatever.
We like to assign meanings.
Yeah. Well, and you dispel the rumor of the folding of the flags. Each fold has a
Right.
meaning.
I like that
board,
one. I was yeah.
But yeah,
it sounds nice, but
yeah. But so, do you know why? It just happened to be some guys in Rome, Georgia, or does Rome, Georgia have something to do with the tomb? Like, is that where they mined the original marble or something? Or
I don't know. I guess I just read that there was this organization doing it. I saw it.
From Rome, Georgia, yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's wonderful that we have someone who was actually one of the,
guard there.
And is going to speak about it. I mean, that's a wonderful
I
opportunity.
wish that was on Saturday, because Friday.
Yeah, because
work on Friday.
But at least you can come and
swing
see
by
it,
on Saturday.
right?
I
Yeah.
want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, that's August 6th, 7th, and 8th from 10 to 5, and that's at the VFW Post, and that's on the bypass for those of you that don't know, in Kingston. And it's free of charge, and it's open to the public. So what a wonderful opportunity for individuals to come and see it. Great thing that you did there, Bill. Very, positive for the community and for people and kids. What a wonderful opportunity for your child. If they, a lot of people don't get down to Washington, D.C., and they don't have the opportunity to see it. So this is a way that your children could see a little bit of history right here in Ulster County.
About 28 years ago, we brought the moving wall, the Vietnam Wall, to Kingston the first time. And we had a beautiful location on the front lawn of the National Guard Armory, nice and level. It was really nice. We didn't charge for that either. It cost somewhere in the vicinity of $12,000. But
you did it?
It didn't seem right to make Americans pay to come and honor those that had given their lives. It wasn't right.
Great point.
And that's part of your service to the community is providing educational opportunity, opportunity for service people to go reflect and whatever. So it's part of your outreach. That's what
We didn't sell stuff there.
Yeah.
That didn't seem right. It's not the type of thing that people should be making money off of or having souvenirs for.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's for sure. And the same thing with this. So that's
is that
great.
armory still a military installation?
Oh yes. Oh, they in the last 10 years they've made some major additions actually to it.
Yeah.
What's out there? Is it storage or is it is there people barracks?
I think it's the 104th MP Battalion is there.
Oh really? MP? Huh.
It used to be the 156th Field Artillery.
Yeah, it used to be artillery. I remember as a kid.
Artillery's a dying thing.
Now they drop it out of planes.
We're dropping them out of planes and such. Yeah. I mean, there's still artillery to an extent.
Yeah, it's pretty sophisticated artillery now. So wow, 'cause you don't it used to be open. You used to have the Lions Expo out there, and it used to be a little bit more public. But now it's
well, we had hoped originally to put the tomb out there on the front lawn, and in case of inclement weather, take it inside. But they're in the process of doing a lead abatement. There had been a range inside. OSHA got involved and to clean things up.
Lead dust everywhere from.
I've been through that.
There's a rifle or pistol range in there. Or?
I have never been to the range. I was never in the Guard or Reserve. I was active, but I just hear stories. There was downstairs a range. I know that I went through this when I was assigned to RPI as an ROTC instructor years ago. We had a range. OSHA came in, did the same thing. Down in New York City, before I went over during Desert Storm, we had a range. They did every place that seems to be an indoor range. OSHA gets in there and
It's involved.
Yeah, well, they got to protect their bureaucracy,
Yeah, but that is that would have been a perfect venue for it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That front
really
lawn,
would've. That's a
it's
shame.
nice.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
on that front lawn now, we've placed the Ulster County Vietnam Veterans Memorial. It used to be up on Flatbush Avenue. We had that moved. We had to actually, I got involved with the state's lawyers and all. Ownership had to transfer to the state now to put it on their property. But
yeah, well, good.
It was a perfect place, though.
Now they help
Put it,
maintain it,
absolutely.
the grounds and all. Yeah,
we paid to have a landscaper go in and set up the front there by their flagpoles and the monument. And each year we usually go over there and hold a service on what is now the Vietnam Veterans Remembrance Day. I think it's March 27th or end of March. And
Yeah, if you're ever driving by that way or in that neighborhood.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
know-
our,
yeah,
my
yeah,
neighborhood.
your neighborhood. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's really, take a
And
ride.
contrary
it's
to
open
the-
to the public.
contrary to the memorial on Ferris Street, there are only 41 people from Ulster County that were killed in Vietnam. The one up at the county building's got 42 names.
Do we know where the discrepancy is?
I
Yes.
do. There's a man by the name of Giuseppe Magri. He's from New York City. He never lived in Ulster County. We don't even know if he ever visited. His parents would come up and they go out in the Gardner area on vacations. When they retired and they had the means, they bought a place out there. By then, Lieutenant Magri had been killed in Vietnam and he was buried in New York City. The family had him brought up and reburied up here. But he's not from Ulster County. And no disrespect to him, he's listed down in New York City on their memorial and all, but it opens up a can of worms now. You know, I moved to, Franklin County upstate, and I've got a brother, a father, somebody that had been killed in war. Why can't I have their name added there? It's no disrespect to the individual. God knows we're not into, pointing the fingers like that and all, but
yeah. Oh well.
That's why one's got 42 names and the other's got 41.
Yeah, it's hard. You do as much research as you possibly can.
Well, that
Excuse me.
name was added in the last few years.
Oh, okay.
Well,
There's rumors about how it came about, but I can't substantiate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's just some logs you don't want to flip over.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
But, exactly. So we got about another minute left. So, any other events coming up this summer? Or
Well, we do have a dinner coming up. Each year we select one of our own as Veteran of the Year, and they're honored for what they've done since they left the service, what they've done to help veterans in their community, church, scouts, whatever. And this year, we've only done this once before. We're going to honor two people.
Wow.
One is Bert Vandermark, and the other is Andy Keene. We lost Andy just about a year or two ago. He died rather suddenly. But when they came to us, we were hurting for people in our honor guard, where we go out and do graveside honors and all, and we were hurting for people in so many areas. These two came in, they were a godsend when we needed them the most. And up until his passing, Andy was extremely active with us. Bert has continued to be a godsend.
When is the dinner? Is it open to the public?
It is open to the public. The dinner is on Friday, I think it's September 10th. It'll be at Little Italy. Tickets are available at the VFW on the bypass or at the American Legion on Broadway. And it is open to the public.
And that'll sell out probably, so don't wait too long.
Probably. I think their seating capacity is about 100 there or so.
September's not very far away either, sadly.
Yeah, and we generally do 90 to 120 tickets.
Yeah, great.
That's fantastic. That's
Excellent.
great.
Well, you can certainly have more info.
Yeah, next month.
Yeah, next month on
Be
that.
closer to it, yeah. That's for sure.
All right, Bill, well, we're about
Thank you so
at
much,
the
Bill.
top of our bottom of the hour, I should say. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Yes, everybody go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier on August 6th, 7th, and 8th.
And, of course, August 6th at noon, there'll be an opening ceremony with a rifle salute and taps and a little presentation from an actual guard who our county executive knows. So, cool. All right, Lawrence, we're bottom of the hour. Why don't you take it away?
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Central Hudson reminds you that summer thunderstorms can strike with strong, gusty winds, knocking down trees and power lines. If you see a downed power line, call 911 immediately to report it. Power lines can carry an electric current strong enough to cause injury or death. Stay at least 30 feet away from a fallen line. Don't try to move it or anything that has come in contact with it. And never drive over a power line. Remember, your safety matters.
There was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His parents could only hope that one day he would leave the hospital healthy, and they would all live happily ever after. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year. You can help the March of Dimes stop premature birth and bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
All right, we are back.
We are.
Tuesday, the home stretch. And we have with us the busiest girl in town, Christine Hine.
I don't know about that.
I'd put you in a running for top 5 without question. Christine Hine, Executive Director of the People's Place of Kingston.
Yes.
And a lot of stuff going on, including our engineer, Dan, was involved in some of your stuff going on.
He is. He is going to do a 7-week series at the new Wellness Empowerment Center, and it's going to be called The Power of Sound. And, each week they talk about a different aspect of sound. But what we're chatting about, if people don't know, my name is Christine Hine. I am the Executive Director at People's Place. And People's Place, just last Monday, a week ago yesterday, opened up our new Wellness Empowerment Center. And Nina, you were there at the ribbon cutting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so we now have 1 week under our belt of programming, and it went extremely well. The feedback has been 100% positive, and for those that might just be hearing about it today, each day, to start out with, we're staying within our normal operating hours from 10 until 1. So some classes start a little earlier, but, just because little bites at a time, little baby steps. But each day we are going to offer different programming, all focused on the wellness of the individual. And what the classes are there to teach or to give guidance, however you want to look at it, to the participants going, so that they can use those tools in their own everyday life. So therefore empower them to maybe have a more calming, or it depends on how you want to look at it, successful, happy, whatever the term is, having a life.
Better, healthy, mental, physical.
Yeah.
Everything.
So to give you an idea, we broke the days down, and we'll probably have crossover things, but all the workshops are free. So there's never any charge. It's open to anyone in the community. Of course, we're hoping that a lot of the individuals who utilize People's Place for other services will also come to learn these skills, but we never turn anyone away. So we have 5 days of the week. We have Mindful Mondays, and so that is about exploring meditation, journaling, motivation, other mindful type things. And right now, to give you an idea, yesterday, Amy Reed from the Yoga House came, and she gave a yoga class for free. Yeah. So that's that's a fun thing. We might be doing it starting in September on Mondays. We haven't come up with the exact name of it, but it's singing, but sort of community singing, and you don't have to be able to be part of some choir group. It's really how the use of sound and voice can help soothe yourself and your soul.
And it's fun.
Yes.
Every single day at summer camp, they sing at lunch and dinner while the kids are doing, they're cleaning up the kitchen.
Right.
And you just get into it. And it's like you cannot help but to be happy after you sing a rousing song.
Yeah.
That's awesome idea.
Yeah, so that's going to be
sing-along.
Yeah, that's going to be on Mondays, probably around 12 or so, but we're not 100% sure. I'd like to make it kind of around a time that folks can pop over on their lunch break if they want to. Something like that.
Perfect.
So Tuesdays, I just left there now. People's Place is setting up the free farm stand. That happens every Tuesday morning.
Challenge go last week.
The Chef Challenge went great. We had a number of chefs and students from the Culinary Institute of America, and then also 2 of our absolute fabulous standby supporters who are there every single year. Graziano Tecchio from Downtown Cafe. Yeah, and Brandy Walters from The Anchor. And the 2 of them have been from the very first Chef Challenge that we did, I think 6 years ago. They have been every single one.
That's fantastic.
Always say yes. So huge shout out to them as well. But Tasty Tuesdays are going to be, helpful, healthy recipes, helpful nutrition tips, fun facts. Today we have Katie Lopez Sheen from the Cornell Cooperative Extension is going to be there from 9 to 10:30 this morning. Excuse me. And she is going to be talking about water versus sugary drinks and how you can make your water taste delish and what it does for your body. It's such a simple step. And, water can really be free.
That's a great topic.
Yes.
Because, right. So many times people think they have to buy off the shelf.
Correct.
Those, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
water.
Good water.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
they
that's
do.
it. Does. I like it. I pour it and I refrigerate it. I don't know. For some reason, it tastes different to me when I refrigerate it, but that's what
As long as you're drinking water. That's all.
Then Wednesdays are Wellness Wednesday, and so that has practices for the mind, body, and soul. And last week we had How to Stay Fit Without a Gym by Julie Colati from Bodies by Colati. And
everybody used that, yes.
Everyone who took the class loved it. And it's funny, I said, well, what was the main thing that you got out of it? And do you know what every one of them said? And I guess she must have banged it home, was sitting is the new smoking. And what that means is everybody's become so sedentary that it's just as detrimental as smoking.
Huh.
So
That's
she was like,
interesting.
"Get moving," and then she gave them.
First, by Colati.
Then she gave
the
them
Wellness
gave them tips on real simple exercises that you can do with no equipment whatsoever and do it at
Fill
home.
a 2-liter soda bottle with water and
That's
curls.
it. Well, one of the fun classes we're going to do with Mary Tuma, actually, starting in September,
Mary's great, too.
is little workout classes you can do at home with, like, cans of vegetables and things.
Yeah.
And then we'll give the people the vegetables that they work out with. How great is that,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
Watermelon curls.
And then also on Wednesday, it's going to be every Wednesday, we're doing Movement with Meditation by Keith Bennett. And it's sort of like a Tai Chi, but we have music going, and it was just phenomenal. The feedback was phenomenal. And he teaches at all these classes are for a beginner.
Yeah.
For a basic. I mean, obviously, if you are familiar with Tai Chi or yoga or something, you just want to sort of get another point or working out, you're still welcome. But we don't want anybody to feel like it's too high up that if you're a beginner, you shouldn't come.
Intimidated by it.
Right. This is all about sharing the knowledge and the experience with people to improve their lives.
Yeah.
Thursdays are Thriving Thursdays, so it's kind of a potpourri of phenomenalness, right? We're going to teach life hacks and self-care and wellness and safety tips. So this Thursday coming up, we are going to have that's Wednesday. Hold on one second. This is super fun. Numerology.
Oh,
We're going to be talking about on Thursday. So you can come with your I guess it's like your birth dates and times or whatever it is. I think that each letter in your name has a certain. It's just something super fun. And
Who's doing that?
Nadine Lewis is
Okay.
going to, and she's been doing this for like 25 years. So
That's interesting.
numerology at 10:30. So that's going to be wonderful. I did not mention tomorrow, along with the movement by meditation at 12:30, at 10 o'clock we're doing body scan meditation, and that is with Jennifer White, who is a licensed social worker, and she's right here in Kingston. So she's going to be doing workshops every other week. So there's just so much fun stuff, and of course on Fridays, it's Fiscal Fridays. And that is sponsored till the end of the year by the Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. And last week they did Understanding Credit. And this week they're doing Intro to Banking. So all kinds of wonderful classes. You can find out about everything at the Wellness Center by going to peoplesplace.org and clicking on the Wellness Empowerment Center tab.
So I have to say, Christine mentioned that I was at the opening, and the space is phenomenal. It's an amazing
upstairs,
space.
basically, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, has anyone ever been up there beside you? You know what I mean? It's like,
It used to be a boxing place a long time
that's
ago.
where it is.
Like
You
right
used to
when
see it through the windows,
Like in
yeah.
2012, 2013, because it was
Yeah.
there when I first started.
What it was and what it is now, you would never think it was the same
Huh.
space. And I have been in both spaces.
Now, how much space is it? Just one big open room?
It's a very large room. and I believe it is. Oh, I should have looked it up. 3,600 square feet, something like
gosh,
that. It's
that's
big.
huge.
Per Dwayne, because Dwayne is the one who did our appraisal. when we went to purchase the building, but so it's one big huge space, and then there's another room that is we use it for storage right now, but we are hoping to offer a few wellness days on the weekend where we collaborate with chiropractors and acupuncturists and massage therapists.
That's a great idea.
So we'll utilize that space also.
But where I'm at, so there's room for a variety of.
Yes, and we have a snack shack.
Okay.
So when you leave, you always get a snack and water, or we have a smoothie machine that was donated
Now,
to us.
are you open to artists or practitioners? Tai Chi masters to come and offer classes? Like, are you entertaining, volunteers for that?
We
type
are
of stuff?
entertaining any and all people who want to volunteer. If they can give me a call at People's Place, which is 338-4030, or they can email me at director@peoplesplace.org, or they can stop by and say, "Hey, Christine, do you have a couple of minutes?" And I
got an
always
idea
try to make
for a wellness
time.
class,
Yeah, and that's what happened with the community singing. And she emailed me and came over yesterday, and I showed her the space, and she was very excited about it. So I believe in September we're going to start
piano and
start that. I don't know. I think it's all going to just be voice.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And really, what we are looking for, right, are folks who are willing to donate their time and knowledge, and it could be like Keith Bennett, who's doing it every Wednesday at 12:30, or it could be like Dan Gatos, who is going to be doing the Power of Sound for a 7-week workshop. It can be somebody who says, "Hey, I have once a month that I would like to do something."
You're open. You're flexible.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
writers
We're
or something,
flexible,
or-
and hopefully, as it grows, hopefully there will also be people within the community who see its value and donate to it, because we are not charging anybody for any of the classes that we're giving out. So hopefully there'll be individuals who also choose to donate and sponsor the wellness center, because we do have to pay the lights and the utilities, and it's
the cool
up, right, and a staff member to be there. Because it can't be, we still need a staff member there to greet people and kind of organize it and coordinate everything. Fatima Dean is our facilitator for the Wellness Center. So she's sort of...
Fatima Dean?
Yeah, yeah, she's so awesome.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about her in a couple of years.
Oh, she's been at People's Place
really?
since
That's awesome.
since last year. Yep, she's been the food pantry supervisor. But when we start talking about this, of course, this is her wheelhouse. She is a reflexologist, and she has been helping out. We're coordinating it, and I really have her as the coordinator each day that greets any of the program participants and the teacher of the class, the leader of the class, whatever the best word is for each person. She's such a doll. She's such a love, and we're so fortunate to have her. And she has such a soothing comment, which is great for me because I'm sort of spinning around.
Yeah, you need the balance, right? Yes, so true. I know that feeling. You need that balance of somebody to bring it. Yeah, yes, yeah.
That's good.
One thing is Christine speaking about all this that comes to mind is the fact that all these individuals that you're talking about are donating their time free of charge to make this program and the Wellness Center a success. And it really speaks volumes for all the people in our community. Of course, as the leader, Christine, you pull everybody in, and your enthusiasm really gets people going, and they're happy to do it. But, a shout out, and all the volunteers for People's Place, too. We talked about that at the opening. But it really adds to the success of the program and to People's Place as a whole. And, they're giving up their time, and they're, to do something and give back to their community. So a shout out to them also.
Yes, and if you go to our website, to the Wellness Empowerment page, and you click on it, eventually we're working on it, because one of our behind-the-scene volunteers, Mike Rice, he's our webmaster. He's so wonderful, and he's always changing, making sure our website is current, and he is going to be adding There's a calendar that you can click on if you see something you like, and it'll tell you a little more about it. But then we're also going to sort of have like a bio page, which will talk a little bit more in depth about the class and about the individual who is going to be leading the class.
That's great.
So that, so people understand that it really, they are professionals who are offering these skills and classes and education, however you're looking at it.
I mean, pretty
and
much
I think that they should
all
get
of
a
the
little
things
bit
you've
of that.
talked about are things that other places charge for. There's
Correct.
Right.
spas and cultural centers and art societies that charge for every single one of the things you've just mentioned.
Correct.
And to offer them free in a community-based, welcoming setting, that
Yes.
it's fantastic.
So before your class, you can, before or after, depending on what time your class is, you can go downstairs and get lunch at the community cafe, because that is open to dine in now and every day.
Dine in. Oh, good, good.
It's a little different every
your
day.
hours are?
The hours for the cafe are 8:30 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. From 8:30 to 10:30, we have a continental breakfast, and then from 11 o'clock to 1, we have lunch. So you can still take out. We started takeout when COVID happened.
Right.
And a lot of folks who are using it still do takeout. But slowly people are starting to come in and dine. And again, there's, as Cameron said about the Wellness Center, it's about all of our programming. It's all free to anyone who wants to use it. And it's open to anybody who wants to use it. So if you are a person of means, shall we say, and you come and you either take a class or you dine at the community cafe, which we want because we want everyone to come together from all socioeconomic backgrounds and stratuses, feel free to make a donation.
Don't be shy.
That's it. That's it. We'll never say no to that either. So, but it is all free, and as you said, Nina, I say it all the time as well. Through the kindness of the individuals who live in our community, we can do programming like this. Because if we didn't live in such a phenomenal community, we would not be able to do programming like this. Which leads me to probably our biggest, and I don't know, I dare to say most fun and heartwarming program that we offer at People's Place.
Yes, I agree.
That is Project Santa.
It's going to be that time, right?
It is. So this is July. So, we like to say celebrating, Christmas in July, celebrating Santa. We actually have to start working now. We've actually started before this, preparing for Project Santa. Project Santa is a toy distribution that we do every December and have been doing it virtually since the beginning of People's Place, which was in 1972. So we're 49 years old.
Oh, big celebration next year, right?
Celebration coming up next year, 50. And so the program has morphed and changed and grown to what it is today, which is called Project Santa. And what that is parents or guardians can come and register their child. And then the week before Christmas, we offer gift packages, and that includes a main toy, which last year we had hoverboards and drones and just all kinds of wonderful things. Little people farms and a nice toy, a toy that I would say is of value of at minimum $25, $30. Then they get winter weather items, hats, scarves, mittens, things like that. Everything is brand new. A stocking filled already with stocking stuffers. And then we also had what we call mid-price toys. Sometimes we get donations, which is wonderful. We have all different people in the community who do toy drives. But sometimes they don't really fit into one category. So now last year we started the mid-size toy. So they also get a mid-size toy, maybe a toy that isn't a stocking stuffer but isn't the main toy. So something that is, $10 or $12, something along those lines, which is fabulous. And then a board game or craft or a basketball or football, however it goes. And then, of course, probably my favorite, 2 brand new books. I think it's so important for a child to have their own book. The library is a phenomenal asset, which should never be underplayed. I feel like we should give libraries more attention
I couldn't agree more.
than what we do.
I agree with you 100%.
When my son was small, we went literally to the library almost every single day. And we made our rounds, Kingston, Town of Ulster, Port Ewan, Hurley. Each day they had different kind of class, little activity for kids.
Hours and yes.
But then it was also going and just reading the books. And I think she is still there. But when my son was going, Stephanie Morgan was the head of the children's part of the library. And what a phenomenal, beautiful soul Stephanie is. So, I mean, just a great person and really instilled the love of reading. So, for Project Santa, we want to make sure that the children have books, but that they're theirs and they don't have to bring them back at the end of the week or 3 weeks, however long you can keep it for.
And what people need to realize here, that these children would not have a Christmas otherwise.
Correct.
These children will wake up on Christmas morning and there would be nothing under that tree for
or
them.
maybe something small. Or
Yes.
So we try to do all this, but this is all expensive. Last year we
Sure.
spent over $65,000 on toys for kids, and that was with all of the toy drives that we did.
And
it
how
was
many families
astronomically
do you
expensive.
serve doing that, or how many children?
Just about 2,000 last year, just shy. I think it was too shy of
Those of you that are
2,000.
listening, 2,000, that's an
So-
amazing number.
And this year we're planning for 2,500. We're doing some outreach to outlying areas also that want to utilize our services.
This is throughout the county.
This is throughout the county, anyone who lives in Ulster County. So what we're doing for Christmas in July, we are doing a special fundraiser called Celebrating Santa. And we have, it will be July 29th, and we will have Santas up on our roof, waving to the people going by the traffic circle now. And we'll be live on Facebook for the whole day. It starts at 8 in the morning, and it goes till 7 in the evening.
That's
and
great.
so we have multiple local celebrities, I like to say, because they have such a kind heart, who have offered to be Santa. And in order for them to come down from the roof, quote unquote, they have to raise money. And so they are reaching out to the community to raise money for Project Santa. We also have sponsorship. So if folks are listening and you just personally want to do it, or you have a business, we have sponsorship levels that people can make a sponsorship for to buy toys. And that is seen either on our Facebook page, on the Project Santa webpage, or you can give us a call, and I'd be happy to email that. But I really want to give a shout out to all the generous Santas in our
Yes,
community who
can
said
you
that
tell
they
us
would.
who they will be?
I can. I remember
right.
all of them, mostly because I wrote it down. So we start at 8 o'clock, and we have Bob Miller on from WBPM, from Bob in the morning. Then at 8:30, we have Ken Davenport, who is a former owner of Heritage at Costco Energy. Then at 9, we have Eleni Luerzo and Adrienne Gomez from Deed Stadium Diner. Everybody, of course, knows and loves Eleni, but I'm sure if you've ever gone to Deed Stadium Diner, you have met Adrian, because he is
right.
there all the time. So Eleni is going to be Santa, and Adrian is going to be her elf, and they're both going to be up on the roof trying to raise money. Then at 9:30, we have Craig Crump from KeyBank Investment Services, financial advisor. Then 10 o'clock is Deb Marks.
Oh, great,
From
Deb. Good for Deb.
she's just everywhere. She's such a wonderful person. She's a
She
member
is.
of the Junior League of Kingston. She's an Ulster Corps volunteer. She volunteers for Ulster Immigrant Defense Network. So she's phenomenal. Tony Russo, who is also a People's Place volunteer, but he is best known as the previous owner from the Reservoir Inn.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah. Everybody who has ever been to Reservoir Inn knows Tony. So he's phenomenal. We have Julie Colati from Bodies by Colati. So not only does she give classes, but she's willing to go out on the roof and raise money for us. Tony Davis, who is the alderman for Ward 6 here in the city of Kingston, but he's also, and probably more well known as a history teacher at Miller Junior High School. Janice Avery, who owns Mirror Hair Salon.
Yeah, sure.
She also does the free haircuts once a month at People's Place in our parking lot. Frank Giuseppe is a detective at the Ulster County Sheriff's Department, and Craig Williams, who is an Ulster County Correctional Officers Benevolent Association president. That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
Yeah.
You did that well.
Ward Todd.
Oh,
is going
great.
to be there.
Ward's going to do that.
The CEO and president of the Ulster County Chamber of Commerce, and along with Ward, Jess Davis is going to be on the roof with him.
That's great.
Dan Ahaus from Stockade Strategies, Quinton Johnson, who is the physical education teacher at Kingston High School, is going to be there. Jean Knapp and Duffy Rylance from Jean Knapp is a volunteer on our People's Place Community Board, so he's our board representative from the Community Board. Eleni, by the way, is the board president for our Board of Directors.
That's right.
Bill Calderera, who is CEO of Ulster Savings Bank, will be making a reprised visit because he was Santa last year as well. John Parker from JSP Home Services, he's the owner there. Kate Cook, who I think everybody knows in the community. Yep, she's a love, and she works for the Ulster County Department of Social Services, along with being a member of the AOH band in the Keegan Army. I mean, Kate's just everywhere, and what love that she is. Ethan Mass, who is the from M&T Bank, he is the senior branch manager over here on M&T Bank, which is on the corner of North Front Street, and Karen Clark Aiden.
Oh, Karen's
Everybody knows Karen from Bob to Totem. Julia Hanson and Brandon Gibson. Julia used to work for us. Then she got a job as the deputy town clerk of the town of Gardner.
Okay.
And Brandon is from Made Men Property Cleaning Services. They're a couple, and so they're going to be up there together.
Oh, that's nice.
Barbara Cohen.
Oh, boy.
She's also going to be one of our Santas from Schwartz's Inn. She's the owner, but I mean, she just is everywhere also.
She is, and she does so much.
And then we will have a member of the Kingston Professional Firefighters Association as our final Santa.
Wow, that is such, I mean,
You know,
that's
any of these
amazing.
people, call them and make a donation. Tell them, oh, I heard about it. I'm going to give you a donation to help you get off that hot roof that we have, and it's rain or shine. So if it's 100, they're still up there, and if it's pouring, they're still up there. So take pity on these sweet souls.
Yes, absolutely, and quickly, because I know we have to go.
I know, I was looking at the time, it's going so fast.
Just quick contact information one more time, your Facebook page.
They can go to Facebook, which is peoplesplace.org. They can call us at 338-4030 or email me at director@peoplesplace.org.
Okay, great.
All right.
Christine, thank you
Thank
as always.
you.
Lawrence, have a terrific Tuesday, everyone.
Everybody have a great day.